Alright, quick update on KNC. It's been a while since I've checked out some of these altcoins, but I am now back with the regular uploads. So let's check out what's been going on while I've been out of the market. It's only been a couple of days, but still weekly. Let's start from the higher time frames and we will work our way down. Weekly time frame, we have got rejected from the weekly EMA ribbons. Why I say we have been rejected. The weekly candle body close has obviously not happened yet. We're sitting on a Wednesday, but still, you know, we've got a decent amount of push down from these EMA ribbons, which kind of reminds me of, you know, the last couple of times we do this and we get pushed down from them. And you can see the opposite when we're in a bullish trend. You can see the wicks to the downside get bought up very quickly, and the wicks to the upside over here get pushed down very quickly. I do think KNC has further to go to the downside. Let's take it down a notch and check out what's going on the daily, and you can see we're coming right back up to these EMA ribbons. So in the shorter time frames, for example, like looking at the daily, because we're going to come down into the 4-hourly in a minute, and I would imagine that we would have flipped 4-hourly bullish already. I haven't actually checked it out yet, but you can see if we do push up, we could potentially see rejections coming at between $3 and $3.14. Let's see, because we've got two orange lines here. I'm pretty sure this is your 618 from the previous all-time high to the low, and then this is your 618 from this low to this new all-time high. So we've got a double 618 that we could be coming back up to. This double 618 is basically sitting within these EMA ribbons as well. You've also got your 200 EMA sitting right here as well. So let me just check, that's your 200. Yeah, your EMA 200. So we've got a lot of things to focus on, but I do think that we could potentially push up a little bit further before we move back to the downside. I would not be counting on it. However, I do just think it is something that we should definitely be looking at in the lower time frame. So it also looks like we're Wing out. This is a very nice W that's currently breaking out at this moment in time. I imagine this would bring us into these EMA ribbons over here. Like I said, you know, this is not going to go higher than these EMA ribbons, unfortunately, or at least it's not going to go higher than the 618 fib up here at $3.14, $3.15. Daily time frame still looks like bears are in mass control, and it does seem like we are kind of just having a little bit of a dead cat bounce, as to say. But the W pattern's quite nice. I think it's going to be over soon. Today, this seems quite brutal. Yeah, we haven't done anything like this since our mass capitulation wick before. But you can actually see 23 million worth of KNC. Obviously, it's going to be fought between buyers and sellers, but there's a lot of KNC being sold today. And if we come over to the 4-hourly time frame, let's see what's going on. We're in a very, very slight uptrend. We've actually managed to flip the 4-hourly EMA ribbons. The squeeze mom has started to turn up, which is quite commendable. Previously, we've had these little bunny hills into the EMA ribbons, and we never really managed to get back above them. And so far, 4-hourly EMAs, pairing that with a confirmed breakout, have really never not worked over on KNC. Now, we have temporarily flipped the EMA ribbons. It is not a confirmed breakout, or it's not a confirmed flip until we break above this previous invalidation point, at which point you have to contend with your daily EMAs coming in at around about 250. Then you've got your first 618 coming in at 294. Then you've got the this is the longer term moving average. Rather, the longer term moving average on the EMA ribbons is going to be coming in at 311, and then 314 for the top of the 618 fib. So a lot of regions of potential resistance coming in for Kyber network. Like I said, 4-hourly, we should really be waiting for a flip. At this moment in time, I think Bitcoin is about to break down in the next coming weeks, potentially in the next coming days or day or so. I think Bitcoin is very choppy right now. You can see we're kind of moving down into / below this falling wedge, and I'm going to show you another Bitcoin chart in a second, but it really looks like we want to capitulate, because previously you can see big wick into it, wick got bought up and we were out of here, wick got bought up and we were out of here, and now we're seeing the opposite. We're kind of seeing backtest, which is indicative to me that at some point this is going to break. I imagine maybe in the next couple of hours, maybe the next day or so, Bitcoin would be breaking below 29,000. As of the time of recording, we're literally just sitting a tiny bit below 28,983. We've got an M pattern breakdown into this as well. We're Ming out, neckline right here, depending on where you want to draw the M from, because you could draw a bigger M like this, or you could draw a mini trend line on here that would take us below here, and then you could potentially see a retest before we do move down. But everything I see is pretty bearish right now. You can also see inverse head and shoulder that failed to break out as we've now moved down. So all of these signs are kind of telltale, in my opinion, that we are going to be moving down to lower price targets. So Bitcoin, I think we're really in this kind of 2017 scenario where we've got this descending triangle, and we've got this descending triangle. You've got a lot of fear and greed, a very weird mix. Normally you've got, you know, retail traders being either exceptionally greedy or exceptionally fearful, and obviously you get things like the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index. So, you know, hearing that people can be greedy and fearful at the same time is kind of like oxymoronic. But I'm telling you, what I'm seeing in these markets these days is, you know, one day everyone is panicking, everyone's freaking out. The next day, you know, the price comes up a bit and everyone's like, oh, I'm buying the dip, the bull market's back, Solana summer's coming. And I do think we just need to kind of hold our horses and, you know, look at what's going on in the market data, because at least historically when this played out, and it's playing out to the teeth right now, we did have a big capitulation down to the 200-week moving average, and we might not move as low as the 200-week moving average down here at 22,000. There's a couple of theories why. I'm only going to share one with you on this video. If we get Bitcoin and divide it by the M2 money supply, so we do this in order to account for inflation, you can see that Bitcoin is already down at the 200-week moving average, and this is something that we historically normally bottom on, and our Bitcoin bottoms normally play out something like this. We normally have one big bottom, we move up, we come back down for a second bottom, and then we move up. What do we have over here? You can see one big bottom, we move up, we come back and make a big second bottom, and then we move up. So, you know, I'm looking at these trends that we've had in all of the major cycles. Obviously I wouldn't consider these major cycles, but even, I mean, I would consider this all kind of one big run, unless you want to call these mini runs, which is understandable because the market cycles were definitely a lot different than the 4-year market cycles back here. So whatever you want to call it, I want to look at these two major cycles, and I think they could end up playing out to the teeth, which would be very ironic because a lot of people didn't believe that we were going to do 4-year market cycles. I was also one of the people who didn't think we weren't going to do it. So, you know, no cap over here. I thought Bitcoin was going to have an extended cycle, kind of like Ben Cohen's opinion. I thought extended cycles would prevail, and it turns out they didn't. We had a perfect 4-year top. If you extrapolate this from top to top, you can see this was literally 4 years. So that is pretty much all I've got. Like I've been saying, I think Bitcoin could move lower. I definitely think we need to keep, you know, our $22,000 cap screwed on, because if we do come down to these levels, I want to make sure I'm, you know, prepared on all types of levels, mentally prepared, physically prepared, with, you know, money in my accounts ready to buy the dip on these, and I am getting prepared for these type of scenarios. So like I said, I think Bitcoin's about to break down. I think this would drag KNC down with it. Does this mean that we can't move up to, you know, $3.14? Does this mean we can't move up to $3.250 before we do roll back down? It absolutely doesn't mean that whatsoever. So I would not be surprised if we did have a little bit further to push up before we do move down. But like I said, your 4-hourly EMAs have not even flipped bullish yet, and your daily EMAs we are below. So I would have to say the trend is your friend until the end, and for this reason I would be bearish on KNC in the short term at this moment in time. So that is all I've got for KNC. I hope you found value in this video. As always, cowboy out, not financial advice, and most importantly, peace.